What's going on, people? What's happening? How was everybody? Hopefully everybody is well. So just want to welcome you guys for another episode, and thank you guys for watching. So today, let me see here. I decided I was going to talk a little bit about parenting. For those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, I'm a single dad with two boys, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. We'll just talk a little bit about pretty much, not so much how I feel about parenting, because that's pretty simple. Parenting is different for everybody. Everybody comes from different places. Everybody comes from a different upbringing. And you do what you can for your kids. Now, the reason why I brought up parenting, just so happened that this morning on social media, a friend of mine, an old friend, posted in regards to curfews for her kids. She now has a teenage girl, and so my first response to her was, well, because she wanted to know what is a good curfew hour for a teenager. So my first response was, okay, well, you were a teenager. What would you feel is a good response for you? And first thing she responded was, well, what time would you have me home? Ha ha ha. And she was actually talking about back in the day. She was a good friend of my sister's. So the bottom line is, I said it all depends on who it is that she's going with, or he is going with, whatever. I mean, men and boys usually don't really get too much curfews. I mean, maybe they do to a certain extent, depending on the parenting. But I don't believe that. I think there's definitely a difference in gender as far as curfews are concerned for male or female. But for a girl, especially if you're a protective parent, and obviously if you're really protective, you want to make sure that they're in time, they're home at a decent time. You don't want to sit there and wait up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you got to get up in the morning to make sure that everybody is up and ready to go to school. And then that's the other thing that I meant. I said, well, what is, if we're talking about a school night, or we're talking about a weekend, and where's she going? Is she going out with some friends that you know about? And also, a lot of it also has to do with your relationship with the person, your relationship with your own daughter or son, because nobody knows them better than you. So if they're the type of person that's probably going to be a little bit problematic, curfew is not going to help anyway. So there's a different way to go about that as far as my opinion is concerned. But if they are respectable and you've raised them right, then it's not going to make any difference. So in this specific scenario, I just pretty much told her, I said, listen, better yet, she said, it's a young guy. Obviously, he's really cute. He's got his family. She met the mom. She met dad. It seemed like his parents are really, really nice. And he actually came out and says, what time would you like to have her home by? And I thought that's absolutely, that is an amazing trait. I mean, normally boys probably wouldn't even, on a regular basis, they probably wouldn't even approach, the parent. They pretty much just leave it up to their peer. So I was like, well, what are they doing? Well, ultimately they're going to they're going to have dinner and go bowling, or dinner and a movie, whatever the case may be. I was like, well, think about it. Dinner usually takes about how long? About a half hour to an hour, depending on where they're going. Bowling, how long is a game? Just for 2 people, a game is typically, about a half an hour? If they do 2 games, it's about an hour. If they really stretch it out, it's an hour and a half. So you figure in between, you got 2.5 to 3 hours. So they can do things comfortably. And maybe they're having dinner at the bowling alley. Well, if they're having dinner at the bowling alley, that's a whole another case. So now you're knocking off another half an hour. So I imagine you got to just calculate things that way. 2.5 to 3 hours should be sufficient, depending on the outing. And if you really just trust your daughter or your son, and you feel they're going to be proper, then let them stay a little bit longer. Let them have their fun. But we know what teenagers are all about. And I know we know what teenagers are all about. But then again, some of them are very respectable, and you can't judge them all by the masses. So, on that note, as far as parenting or deciding when your curfew is, I don't know. I remember for me, I never even had a curfew. I never had a curfew. Literally, I never had a curfew. I mean, I like to be home. I didn't like to be out. And if I was out, I mean, shit, when it's nighttime, it's nighttime. I don't want to be out all late and stuff. You know, I get tired. I want to be home. So I don't remember even having a curfew for me, which is why I kind of like stated the fact that it's really different as far as, it's very gender-based as far as curfews are concerned. Now my sister, on the other hand, yeah, they had a little bit of a curfew thing. Be home by 9, be home by 10, be home by 11. That was never the case. I've never seen anybody home. I don't remember anyone being home on time, as far as that is concerned. So in regards to parenting, it's just parenting today is also just so different from back when we grew up. I mean, the cell phone thing, I remember, you know, when you wanted to call somebody, you had to wait and go to the house phone and just be like, hi, can I speak with Jessica? Oh, she's not home right now. Oh, alright, well, you tell her I called and I'll try calling back later. Nowadays, okay, she's not answering her phone. Text message. She's not responding to the text. Text message again. Hey, are you okay? Is everything good? Why is she not responding? You know, today everything's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, instant gratification. I need you now. Need it. And the second somebody doesn't respond, something wrong. Is everything all right? I mean, today is just different. So parenting has definitely changed. It's definitely a lot more. I don't know if it's a lot more or a lot less. I believe parenting is a lot more challenging nowadays, given that your kids have access to so much media, which translates into just so much knowledge that they're capable of seeing the world, and they don't need you too much to explain it. And it's like when they do need you, they need you for the things that they probably don't understand, or things that they haven't seen yet. But today, I mean, with internet, everything is available. I remember a few days ago, I had to do a project with my son. And it wasn't a crazy project, but I remember that if I had to do the same exact project, I'd have to go to the library, probably pull out 3 or 4 books, probably have to make a few copies on a Xerox. You know, if there was a computer, you know, good luck scanning the items in to make the page and have the photo or picture available. And have to actually go through the books to actually look for the media, look for the what I need for this specific essay or whatever it is that I need to do. Where today, all they gotta do is type it in on Google. Like, what is so and so's birth date? What is so and so's death date? When did he die? What did he die out of? What was his accomplishments? What were his goals? Where did he live? Who was he married? Who was his family like? What was his neighborhood like? Everything is right then and there with the simplicity of hitting the button. But yet, the kids' reactions are the same as what my reaction would have been to doing a school project in my age. You know, back when I was his age. You know, it's like, oh man, I gotta do this project. Gotta go to the library. I gotta look through the books. I gotta find something that says something. You know, it's like, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like doing this. And it's like, I get the same reaction from my son. I'm like, dude, Google's right in front of you. You have the computer. You don't even have to look through a book. There are no pages to freaking turn. You just type in, and here's your answer. What is it that you have to do? Take a couple of notes, or copy the line and paste it to a notepad, or paste it to your Microsoft Word, or paste it to whatever software you're using. It's just by the way, my son is 9 years old, so yeah, he's maybe this is all still kind of new to him, but you know, he's been exposed to this stuff for a while, and he knows how to utilize all of it. It's just that it's unbelievable sometimes that parenting, even though we have all the access and everything is so available to, not just to us, to our kids, the reactions as kids have not changed. Laziness will still be laziness. Procrastination will still be procrastination. Hypocrisy will still be hypocrisy. Because those are just psychological traits of the human being. So even though the rest of the world and everything around us what's the word I'm looking for? Everything around us evolves. As far as we're concerned, we still want it to be better. We're still lazy. We still want to be able to get that information without having to grasp for it, without having to reach out and get it, even if it's just a simple touch of a button and asking Google or asking Bing or asking, well, I don't think Facebook has a search engine that they own, but if they do, then let me know. But it's just phenomenal. That no matter which way you look at it, kids will be kids. Doesn't matter what type of technology we have. They just, everything, the whole world evolves, but we stay the same. The only difference with our adaptation to it is we know how to use the new technology, and that's about it. We learn how to use the new technology, and we learn how to complain about it in a whole new light. So, parenting is not easy. Definitely not easy. And, but you got to remember that you used to be a kid. You used to be a kid. So remember, if you had that issue, if you had that problem, and you would have your parent word it to you in a way that you would understand it better, or word it to you in a way that you may possibly get a grasp on respecting them in a better way, then you know what? Put that on your child. I mean, there's really no, that's what I mean, there's no one way to raise your children, and there's no one way to come up with a decision. But just think about, I mean, that's also kind of like what went wrong with parenting, I think, in the 90s. All the kids that were born in the 90s. I mean, when we all wanted, our fathers and our mothers, all wanted better for us, because we came from an era that didn't really have a whole lot of technology. We had games and everything was up and coming, but it still, like, our parents didn't have a whole lot of technology growing up. There were no cell phones. There was no, nothing was like readily available. It was a hard working era. But we were born in, from the 70s, 80s, we kind of like evolved. And then in the 90s, everybody that was born then, the millennial generation, they had everything available. So they had nothing to do but just, I want it. Well, everything is made possible because, now everything is on credit. Everything is leasing. Everything is just, there's nothing to stop you from getting what you want. Nothing to stop you from getting what you want. Not as a parent, not as a child. As a child, pretty much until you get old enough, it's just your parents that can pretty much stop you from getting what you want. But if you can find a way, hey, kids are making money on YouTube. Kids are making money off of Twitch. Kids are making money inventing items, inventing articles. There was a kid who invented the Band-Aid vending machine for schools, or the first aid vending machine for schools. It's just, it's just, the world today is just so evolved to a sense where things are just, if you just put your mind to it and you have an innovative capability, put it to good use, So on that note, I think I'll let it go. And so my message to parenting is, parent your way. Just remember to think that you used to be a child once too, and speak to your children as if in a way where you would have your parents speak on to you when you were a child and you wanted something done and you wanted a particular something. So think about how you would have had your mom or dad, because I know we all did. We've all been in a situation where we were like, oh, well, if my mom would have only said it to me in that way, then I would have totally just done it. But no. Well, you know what? Go back before you try and punish your kid, or before you get angry at your kid, before you just raise all hell and brimstone. Think about how you acted and how you behaved as a kid, and how you would have wanted your parent to behave or to take care of that situation. You know, and that, to me, what parenting is all about, is about, you know, putting yourself in their shoes and going back to being in that position, and how would I have had that situation handled? If I was my mom, if I was my dad, and my son did that to me, or my mom, well, how would I have handled it if I was my mom or my dad? Would I punish? Would I grab a belt? Would I sit down and talk? What method would I think would work out the best? You know, but unfortunately, as we get older, we get less and less patient. That's why the older we get, the less time we have for bull. We just stop, done, do it, enough, stop it, enough. But you know what? Your kids are still kids. They didn't, you know, they have nothing but time. They got nothing but patience. They don't even know what time is yet. They know it's a thing on the clock. They know that tick-tocks. Eventually they get old enough to know what 7 o'clock is, what 8 o'clock is, but they still have no concept of time. You know, they're waiting for you to say it's bedtime. If you don't say it's bedtime, they're out there doing whatever it is that they're doing. They're playing. You know, up until a certain age, they just know dark means night, day means, you know, light means day. But bedtime is not a concept. So, you know, I'm sure everybody out there does their best, and hopefully, you know, my advice can help somebody out there. If it doesn't help anybody out there, hey, you know what? I put in my 2 cents, and I know you didn't ask for it. And it's totally cool, totally okay, totally cool. I'm cool with you guys not asking for my 2 cents. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to comment below. Please feel free to share it with your friends if you know. And appreciate you guys. So thank you for watching. See you guys later.